Let's talk about something most people get wrong: bugging in during a blackout. You've probably seen the advice: stock some water, get a flashlight, maybe grab some canned food. And sure, that's a start. But that's not bugging in. That's just hoping things get better before your stuff runs out. Real bugging in means you can stay in your home, safely and comfortably, for days or even weeks without power. No scrambling, no panicking, no wondering if you should have left. And here's the thing: most blackouts, you're better off staying home. Your house has shelter, space, resources. If you know how to use them correctly, your home becomes the safest place to be during a power outage. But most people don't know how. They don't think through the details: the temperature control, the food storage, the water situation, the security concerns. And when the power actually goes out, they realize they weren't as prepared as they thought. So this video is going to walk you through everything, step by step, how to bug in during a blackout and actually stay safe and comfortable. Let's get into it. First things first: water. Always water. When the power goes out, your water might not. Most municipal water systems have backup generators, gravity-fed tanks, some redundancy. But here's what people don't think about: even if water keeps flowing initially, it might not stay that way. If the blackout lasts more than 24 hours, water treatment plants start having problems. Pumps fail, backup generators run out of fuel, pressure drops, and when pressure drops in water lines, contamination can get in. That's when you start seeing boil water notices. So rule number 1: the second the power goes out, fill your bathtub. All the way. That's 40 to 60 gallons of water right there. You can use it for flushing toilets, washing dishes, cleaning. It's not drinking water unless you treat it, but it's bulk water, and bulk water is valuable. Next, fill every container you have: pots, pitchers, water bottles, anything that holds liquid. Get it filled before the taps stop working. Now, let's talk about how much water you actually need. The standard recommendation is 1 gallon per person per day. That's for drinking. But realistically, you need more: cooking, cleaning, hygiene. You're looking at 2 to 3 gallons per person per day if you want to maintain any level of comfort. For a family of 4, that's 12 gallons a day. Over a week, 84 gallons. That sounds like a lot, but it's not if you think ahead. Store water in 5-gallon jugs. Keep them in a closet. Rotate them every 6 months. You can also use water bricks. Those are stackable, easy to store, and hold 3.5 gallons each. Get a water filter, a good one. Sawyer LifeStraw Berkey. Something that can filter out bacteria and protozoa. If your tap water stops being safe, you need a way to make questionable water drinkable. And here's a trick most people miss: your water heater. That thing holds 40 to 80 gallons of water. If the power goes out and you need emergency water, you can drain your water heater. There's a drain valve at the bottom. Hook up a hose, open the valve, and you've got gallons of water. It might be a little rusty, so filter it, but it's there. One more thing: if you live in an apartment or high-rise, and your building loses power, the water stops immediately. No backup, no pressure. So if you're above the 3rd floor, you're especially vulnerable. Fill everything the second the lights go out. Okay, water is handled. Now food. The first thing people worry about is their refrigerator and freezer. And yeah, that's a concern. But here's the reality: if you keep your fridge and freezer closed, your food stays good longer than you think. A full freezer will keep food frozen for 48 hours. A half-full freezer, about 24 hours. Your refrigerator will keep food cold for about 4 hours as long as you don't open the door. So rule number 1: stop opening the fridge. Seriously. Decide what you need. Open it once, grab everything, close it. Every time you open that door, you lose cold air. And once the cold is gone, it's gone. If you know a blackout is coming, like during a storm warning, freeze water bottles. Fill your freezer with them. They act as ice blocks and keep everything colder longer. When they melt, you have drinking water. Now let's talk about what to eat first. Start with the fridge. Dairy, eggs, leftovers, anything that spoils quickly. Eat that within the first 12 hours. After that, move to the freezer. Meat, frozen meals. Cook it while it's still semi-frozen and eat it while it's good. After about 2 days, your fridge and freezer food is questionable. Don't risk it. That's when you switch to your pantry. And this is where most people fail. They don't have a real pantry. They have some pasta, a few cans of soup, maybe some rice. That's not going to cut it. You need food that doesn't require refrigeration and is easy to prepare. Canned goods, beans, vegetables, tuna, chicken, soup, pasta, rice, oats, peanut butter, crackers, dried fruit, nuts. And here's the key. You need food you can prepare without electricity. That means you need a way to cook. Camp stove. Get one. A simple propane camp stove costs $30 and runs on those little green propane bottles. Each bottle gives you about 2 hours of cooking time. Stock up on 10 or 12 bottles and you can cook for weeks. If you don't have a camp stove, you can use a charcoal grill. Just make sure you use it outside. Never use a grill indoors. Carbon monoxide will kill you faster than starvation. You can also eat without cooking. Canned goods are already cooked. You can eat them cold. It's not gourmet, but it works. Peanut butter and crackers, granola bars, trail mix, jerky. These are all no-cook options. But here's something most people don't think about. Morale. When the power's out and you're sitting in the dark eating cold beans out of a can, morale drops fast. So stock comfort food. Cookies, chocolate, candy, coffee. Things that make you feel a little more normal. And coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, you know how brutal it is to go without. Instant coffee works. Or get a French press and heat water on your camp stove. Little things like that make a huge difference mentally. One more thing, don't forget about your pets. Dog food, cat food. If you have animals, they need to eat too. And if you run out of pet food, they're going to start eyeing your food. Plan for them? Now let's talk about temperature, because this is where bugging in gets dangerous if you're not prepared. If the power goes out in winter, your house gets cold, fast. How fast depends on insulation, but in most homes, you're looking at a noticeable temperature drop within a few hours. After 24 hours, your house is basically the same temperature as outside. And if it's below freezing outside, that's a problem. So let's start with staying warm. First, layers, clothes, blankets, hats, gloves. Your body generates heat, but you need insulation to keep that heat from escaping. Wool is your best friend. Wool blankets, wool socks, wool sweaters. Wool stays warm even when wet. Next, pick one room to heat. Don't try to heat your whole house. It's a waste of energy. Pick a small room, a bedroom, a living room. Close the doors. Hang blankets over doorways to trap heat. The smaller the space, the easier it is to keep warm. Now, how do you generate heat? Safely. That's the key word, safely. Space heaters don't work without electricity, so forget those. What you need is a propane heater or a kerosene heater. Mr. Buddy heaters are popular. They run on propane, they're safe for indoor use, and they put out a lot of heat. A small Mr. Buddy heater can heat a room for hours on a single propane bottle. But you need ventilation. Even indoor safe heaters produce carbon monoxide. Crack a window just a little, enough to let fresh air in. And get a carbon monoxide detector, a battery-powered one. This is non-negotiable. Carbon monoxide is invisible, odorless, and deadly. If you don't have a propane heater, you can use candles. Not to heat a room, but to take the edge off. A few candles in a small space can raise the temperature a couple degrees. It's not much, but it helps. Body heat also works. Huddle together. Seriously. Sleep in the same room. Share blankets. Your combined body heat will keep a small space warmer. Now let's flip it. Summer blackout. No AC. This is where things get dangerous fast, especially in places like Arizona, Texas, Nevada. When it's 110 degrees outside and you have no AC, heat stroke becomes a real threat. First, hydration. Drink water constantly. You're going to sweat. A lot. You need to replace that water or you're going to get dehydrated. And dehydration in extreme heat can kill you in hours. Next, stay cool. Close your blinds. Cover your windows. Keep sunlight out. Sunlight heats up your house fast. Block it. Open windows at night when it's cooler. Create cross ventilation. Open a window on one side of the house and another on the opposite side. Air flows through and cools things down. Wet towels. Drape a wet towel over your neck, over your head. The evaporation cools you down. You can also soak a shirt and wear it. It feels weird, but it works. If you have a basement, go there. Basements are cooler because they're underground. If you don't have a basement, stay on the lowest floor of your house. Battery-powered fans help. They don't cool the air, but they move it. And moving air feels cooler. You can pick up battery-powered fans for 20 bucks. Get a couple. And here's something most people don't think about. Ice. If you know a blackout is coming, freeze a bunch of water bottles. When the power goes out, put them in front of a fan. The air blows over the ice and cools down. It's a makeshift AC. It doesn't last forever, but it helps. One more thing. Know the signs of heat stroke. Dizziness, nausea, confusion, rapid heartbeat. If someone starts showing those signs, you need to cool them down immediately. Get them into the coolest space you can find. Give them water, wet towels. If it gets bad, that's when you call for help. Okay, temperature is covered. Now let's talk about light. When the sun goes down and you have no electricity, your house gets dark, really dark, and stumbling around in the dark is how people get hurt. So you need lighting. Multiple sources, flashlights are obvious. But here's the mistake people make. They buy one flashlight and think they're covered. You need flashlights in every room: bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, living room. And you need extra batteries. A lot of extra batteries. Get LED flashlights. They're brighter and the batteries last way longer. And get headlamps. Headlamps are better than flashlights because they keep your hands free. You can cook, read, work, whatever, and still have light. Lanterns are even better for area lighting. A battery-powered LED lantern can light up an entire room. Coleman makes good ones, so does Goal Zero. Get a couple lanterns and you can move them around the house as needed. Candles work too. They're cheap, they last a long time, but they're also a fire hazard. Never leave a candle unattended, and keep them away from curtains, blankets, anything flammable. If you use candles, put them on a plate or in a holder. Something stable that won't tip over. Glow sticks are underrated. You crack one, shake it, and it glows for hours. They're safe. No fire risk, no batteries. Great for kids. Great for marking doorways or stairs so people don't trip. And here's a pro tip. Solar lights. Those little garden solar lights you stick in the ground outside? Bring them inside at night. They charge during the day outside, and then you can use them inside for light. They're not super bright, but they work. One more thing. Preserve your phone battery. Your phone has a flashlight, but your phone is also your communication device. Don't waste the battery using it as a flashlight. Save it for emergencies. Speaking of phones, let's talk about communication. When the power goes out, you need to know what's happening. Is this a local outage, a regional blackout, a cyber attack, a storm? How long is it expected to last? Your phone is your primary source of information, but your phone battery isn't going to last forever. So you need a way to charge it. Portable battery banks. Get at least 2. Anchor makes good ones. A 20,000 mAh battery bank can charge your phone 4 or 5 times. Keep them charged, always. When the power goes out, plug your phone into the battery bank and keep it topped off. Car chargers also work. You can charge your phone in your car. Just don't drain your car battery. Run the car for 10 minutes, charge your phone, then turn it off. Solar chargers are another option. They're slow, but they work. If you're in a multi-day blackout, a solar panel can keep your devices charged. Now, information. If cell towers go down, your phone might not work. That's when you need a battery-powered radio, a M/FM NOAA weather radio. Something that picks up emergency broadcasts. When everything else fails, radio still works. Keep the radio on low volume and check it periodically for updates. Don't leave it running constantly or you'll burn through batteries. And speaking of communication, make sure your family has a plan. Where do you meet if you get separated? How do you contact each other if phones don't work? Figure this out before the blackout, not during. All right, let's talk about something nobody likes to talk about. Toilets. When the power goes out, your toilet might still work. If you're on city water and the water pressure holds, you can flush like normal. But if you're on a well or if water pressure drops, your toilet stops working. And if you can't flush, things get gross fast. Here's what most people don't know. You can manually flush a toilet. Fill a bucket with water. Doesn't have to be clean. Pour it directly into the bowl. Fast. The force of the water triggers the flush mechanism. As long as you have water, you can flush. That's why filling the bathtub matters. You can scoop water out of the tub and use it to flush toilets. But let's say you don't have water. Now what? Bucket toilet. Line a 5-gallon bucket with a trash bag. Do your business. Add some kitty litter or sawdust to control the smell. Tie up the bag. Done. It's not pleasant, but it works. You can also use a portable camping toilet. They're basically a bucket with a seat, more comfortable. Same concept. For liquid waste, you can urinate outside if you have a yard. Just pick a spot away from your house. For solid waste, the bucket method is your best option, unless you want to dig a lat hole, which is a whole other conversation. Now let's talk about hygiene. You're not going to shower during a blackout. Not unless you have a lot of water to spare. So what do? Baby wipes. Stock up on baby wipes. You can use them to clean your hands, face, body. They're not a shower, but they keep you from feeling completely disgusting. Hand sanitizer. Use it constantly, especially after using the toilet. After handling food, germs spread fast in close quarters, and you don't want to get sick during a blackout. Dry shampoo. If you have long hair, dry shampoo keeps your hair from getting too greasy. It's a small thing, but it makes you feel more human. Toothpaste and toothbrushes. Don't skip brushing your teeth. Dental problems during a blackout are a nightmare. Brush with bottled water. Trash is another issue. Your trash is going to pile up. Garbage service might not run during a blackout, so you need a plan. Double bag everything. Keep it outside if possible, away from your house. Animals will get into it, so secure it as best you can. Now let's talk about generating your own power. You don't need to power your whole house. You just need to power the essentials. Phone chargers, lights, maybe a small fan or radio. Generators are the most common option. A portable generator can run a fridge, some lights, and a few other devices. You need gasoline to run it, so stock up. 5-gallon gas cans. Add fuel stabilizer so the gas doesn't go bad. But here's the critical part. Never run a generator indoors. Not in your house. Not in your garage. Not even in your garage with the door open. Generators produce carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide kills. Run it outside, at least 20 feet from your house. Point the exhaust away from windows and doors. Generators are also loud. Your neighbors are going to hear it. And if the blackout lasts a long time, that could become a security issue. More on that in a minute. Solar power is quieter. Solar panels charge battery banks. Battery banks power your devices. Goal Zero makes portable solar setups. Jackery, Bluetti. These are plug-and-play systems. No installation. You unfold the panel, plug it in, and it charges. Solar is slow, but it's renewable. As long as the sun comes up, you have power. For a long-term blackout, solar is your best bet. You can also use your car as a power source. Inverters plug into your car's 12-volt outlet and convert it to 120-volt AC power. You can charge devices, run a small appliance, whatever. Just don't drain your car battery completely or you won't be able to start your car. Let's circle back to food for a minute. Specifically, preserving food without power. Your fridge and freezer food is on a timer. If the blackout lasts more than 2 days, you're going to lose most of it unless you do something. First option, cook it and eat it. Seriously, if you have meat in the freezer that's thawing, cook it all. You can refrigerate cooked meat longer than raw meat, and if you eat it within 24 hours, you're fine. Second option, share it. If your neighbor has power, ask if you can store food in their fridge, or cook a big meal and share it with neighbors. Food brings people together, and during a blackout, community matters. Third option, canning. If you have a pressure canner or water bath canner, you can preserve food long term. But this requires preparation and skill. It's not something you figure out during a blackout. Salt curing and smoking also work for meat, but again, those require knowledge and equipment. Realistically, most people aren't going to save their freezer food in a long blackout, accept the loss, and move on. That's why having a good pantry matters. Canned and dried food doesn't care if the power is out. Let's talk about security. Because when the power goes out for more than a couple days, desperation sets in. Most people are good. They're going to stay home, take care of their families, and wait it out. But some people aren't. And when stores close, ATMs don't work, and law enforcement is stretched thin. Crime goes up, so you need to think about security. First, keep a low profile. Don't advertise that you have power. If you're running a generator that's loud, people hear it. They know you have fuel. They know you have resources. That makes you a target. If you're using lights at night, keep them minimal. Close your curtains. Don't make your house the only one on the block that's lit up like a Christmas tree. Second, lock your doors. Sounds obvious, but people get complacent. Keep your doors and windows locked. Reinforce them if you can. Third, have a plan. If someone tries to break in, what do you do? Where do you go? How do you defend yourself? Firearms are an option if you're trained and comfortable with them. If not, pepper spray, a baseball bat, a heavy flashlight, something. But honestly, the best security is not being a target in the first place. Stay quiet. Stay low-key. Don't draw attention. Here's something most prepping guides skip: your mental state. Being stuck in your house with no power for days or weeks is stressful, boring, frustrating. And if you're with family, tensions rise. People argue. Kids get restless. Morale drops. So you need to manage that. Entertainment, board games, cards, books, puzzles, things that don't require electricity. Keep them in a closet. Pull them out during a blackout. For kids, coloring books, toys, anything that keeps them occupied. Bored kids are miserable kids, and miserable kids make everyone miserable. Routines help. Keep a schedule. Wake up at the same time. Eat meals at the same time. Go to bed at the same time. Routines create a sense of normalcy. Exercise. Even if it's just walking around your house or doing some stretches. Physical activity helps with stress. And talk to each other. Check in. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Don't bottle things up. All right, let's wrap this up. Bugging in during a blackout isn't complicated, but it requires preparation. You need water, food, temperature control, lighting, communication, sanitation, power alternatives, security, and mental resilience. Most people think they're prepared because they have a flashlight and some canned soup. But when the power actually goes out, they realize how much they missed, the small details, the overlooked things. And that's when panic sets in. Don't be that person. Start now. Build your supplies, one piece at a time. Water storage, non-perishable food, a camp stove, flashlights, batteries, a battery bank for your phone, propane heater or a way to stay cool, sanitation supplies. None of this is expensive. You can put together a solid bug-in kit for a few $100. Spread it out over a few months if you need to. And practice. Do a blackout drill. Turn off your power for 24 hours and see what happens. What do you miss? What breaks down? What's harder than you thought? Learn now when it doesn't matter, so you know what to fix. Because blackouts are going to keep happening. Infrastructure is aging. Weather is getting more extreme. Demand is climbing. The grid isn't getting more reliable. It's getting more fragile. You can't control when the power goes out, but you can control how ready you are when it does. Your home is your castle. Make sure it can keep you safe, comfortable, and fed when the lights go out. Because bugging in isn't about surviving. It's about staying safe and maintaining some level of normalcy while the world outside sorts itself out. And if you do it right, you'll come through a blackout just fine. A little inconvenienced, sure, but safe, comfortable, ready for whatever comes next. So get your supplies together. Make your plan. And when the power goes out, you'll know exactly what to do.